Hello everyone. Oops, I've just dropped my cable. That's okay. How are you going? Welcome to another Essential Stencil live. Woohoo! Glad to see you here. Once we get a few people jumping on, just feel free to let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love to know where you're from. Love to see my fellow Aussies. I'm from Australia if you're just new here, and I'm one of the ambassadors for Essential Stencils. So I'm just trying to find the live here on my feed so I can kind of share it with my people. I would love you to share. Thanks, Joyce Ann. Great to see you. Yeah, so just going to jump on there. It takes a little minute to just kind of sort through things. How are you all doing? We're all, it's just such beautiful weather here today in sunny Queensland. Well, it's a little bit overcast, but the sun has been out, which has been great. Hi, Teresa from Minnesota. Yep, I'm seeing comments. That is brilliant. So we will get started on our project today. I hope you got a chance to join my live over on my IRESTORESTUFF page, and you'll see my link in the description of the live here. There's always all the links that you need are usually put in the description of this live. So when you jump off your phone or if you're on your desktop computer, you'll be able to see those links up there. But also Essential Stencil is great, and they put a lot of the links into the comments. So yesterday on my IRESTORESTUFF page, I'm from the blog IRESTORESTUFF, and I do a lot of furniture makeovers and things like that. On my page, I'll show you what I did. I actually prepared the boards that I'm going to be using here today. So one of the boards I made was this. I don't know if you can see that properly. I'll hold it back here and then I'll bring it in close for you. But it's, can you see what it is? See if you can see what it is when you're going to get up close. Oh, I've flipped my screen. See the denim jeans? I used my husband's jeans, believe it or not. Don't worry, they were old and they were ripped, so he was getting rid of them. But I used my husband's jeans to do this technique, and you can even see the denim, you know, the scrunching of the material. It's a really fabulous technique. So if you've never done that before, yep, blue jeans, you're right, Vanessa. Yeah, thank you, Teresa. She saw me do the boards there on my page. So if you want to see how to do that technique, I'll be using that board. I'm mindful of the time, and I don't know if I'll actually get to both of these boards doing them today, or if I might only just get one, and I might have to do the other one next week, or in the Stencil of the Month Club group. Are any of you in the Stencil of the Month Club? Because one of the stencils that I'll be using today, I'll be using a couple of different sets and combining them. But one of the sets I'm using is from the Stencil of the Month March collection, which is just fabulous. Beautiful spring things on there, spring flowers and watering cans and mason jars and all sorts of fun sayings and things. So this is the other board that I made. Don't you love that teal? Is that what you would call it? Teal green? And yeah, I know you can see brush strokes and all that, but it's just going to be a background. But let me bring it up really close and see if you can see the texture that I used in there. I keep going the wrong direction because the screen's flipped around horizontally. There's a real fine texture there, and I also show you how I created that. So what I've done is just used patterned fabrics and patterned textured materials. This was just a rubber matting that I used, one of those drawer liners actually, to use this to show this technique. So I show you how to do that on my live. You just go to my page, IRESTORESTUFF, and the live will be right there. Actually, Essential Stencil shared it on their page yesterday too, so you'll find it there. Oh, so many people joining today. So good to see you all. Oops, I've got to scroll my comments down to see where we're up to. That's awesome. So today, on today's board, I think I'll start with the green one. I'm going to make something with Essential Stencils. This is a tongue twister. Essential Stencils, Stencil of the Month Club, March Stencils set. And let me show you that right now. So we always have a bunch of deals going on here at Essential Stencil on our lives. At the end, I choose 3 winners. If you've just joined us and you're new, I'd love to know if you're brand new and you've never seen one of Essential Stencils live. Oh, someone just asked what time of the day is it? Here in Australia, it is 10 o'clock. So I know that Central Standard Time changed for daylight saving over there. So in Australia, I'm in Queensland, and we don't have daylight saving. We don't have any time changes throughout the whole entire year because it's kind of warm climate, and I don't know why. We just don't do that. The southern states do, and so we always have to kind of be mindful of the hour difference in our country as well. But it's 10 o'clock my time here, should be like 7 p.m. yours, right? Over there in the States. Anyway, someone asked about the teal green colour. The colour of this is actually a fusion mineral paint colour called Renfrew Blue, but it's more green to me. Renfrew Blue, that's the name of that colour. You can see, I will have a supply list link there for you somewhere, and you can find where you can get the fusion colours. If you're in Australia, I'm a retailer for fusion mineral paint, so you can get them on my website, IRESTORESTUFF.com. Here is some ideas from the Stencil of the Month Club March set. And I've flipped the camera around so that you can see the words the right way. And they've got some ideas on how to use the stencil set. Oh, it's 8 o'clock Eastern. Yep, it's different time zones all over the world, guys. I'm so glad that you're all joining me at this time. So look at all the fun things that you can design just using this stencil set. There's even some things that aren't on here, like just as well as the bees, they've got butterflies. I'll show you the set right here, right now. But I just wanted to let you know that if you use my code IRESTORESTUFF, that you will get $5 off your first month for the Stencil of the Month Club. And you have until the 20th to get this March set before they then will stop shipping out that, and then you will have to wait till the April set. So get in before March 20th if you want this set. Here's the first stencil that they have here. Let me just put it against a background so you can kind of see it better. I'll just point the camera down actually. There we go. So that's the first thing, is we've got a mason jar and a gorgeous watering can to use. Then they have got all these different flower options, floral options to make. So sunflowers, peonies, roses, tulips, look at them all, and leaf options. So see this wreath right here on this example. That wreath was actually created just using this leaf here and just putting it all around in a circle like a wreath. So that's the second part of the set. And the third part of the set, now don't forget, Essential Stencil always has an add-on. Each month you can opt for the add-on. This is still a part of the set. You get 3 huge stencil lots. So it's got a welcome and a hello. Then it's got all the seasons, winter, fall, spring, summer. And there you have it, the butterfly, the lady beetle, the bee, and a dragonfly. Isn't that just gorgeous? So you can, change around your words, welcome fall, welcome, or hello winter, hello spring. You can use any of those words on your stencil set. So those are the 3 that you get with the main stencil set. And then the add-on is these gorgeous sayings. Live life in full bloom, spring is in the air. So you get some really cute sayings to put with your stencils, and that's called an add-on, and you'll have the option to add the add-on for just, I think it's an extra $10 US each month. When you subscribe, you'll have that. When you order your subscription, you'll have an option to add the add-on, and they are always great value because there's so much when you put that. And can you imagine you combine the add-on too with, say, your mason jar and put words over the jar or over the watering can? All kinds of things. So today what I'm going to work with, the second set that I'm going to combine it with, which you get another great deal on today, is the Easter Minis set. And I actually used this last week as well, but I love it so much, and because Easter's coming and spring is in the air, well, for you guys, it's autumn here. It's autumn, coming on to autumn here in Australia. So actually, yeah, it's March. March, April, May are our autumn months. So we are in autumn, fall. We call it autumn here, don't call it fall. But anyway, that's some little differences. I'll try and keep up with your questions, guys, if you do have them. Yes, Marty, you've got my clue there. She said the blue jean pocket would be cute with a flower coming out of it, which is exactly what I plan on doing with that one. So here's the Easter set, the Easter Minis, and it comes with 6 plus a bonus. So you do get 7 stencils in that set, and I'll show you those here today. So those ones are 20% off until midnight tonight in the Essential Stencil shop. And then you use my code IRESTORESTUFF and you get an extra 10%. So that's 30% off this set of 7 mini stencils. So the size is 6 inches by 6 inches. I'm going to be using this Hello Spring, combining it on my board today. That's one of them. You get a Happy Easter. Just excuse my paint that didn't get washed off in time before it's set. They've got, this is the extra bonus one that's in the set of 6 plus 1. That's the plus 1, Bloom, with gorgeous tulips. You get an Easter egg. I hope you're counting. There is 7 in the set. A little chicken with the cheap sign, gorgeous bunny with the word hop, and carrot patch. If you missed my live last week, go back and check that one out. I created a gorgeous Easter sign using the carrot patch, and I think I used the bunny and the Happy Easter sign all combined into one sign with a 3D kind of effect on it. So go check out that live right here on Essential Stencils. You can always go back to the video section and you'll find so many tutorials there, and they have put them all in playlists according to, I think, different ambassadors, so you can go check out mine there. So that's the set that is on sale today for 20% off till midnight, and that's the Easter Minis. And the link is always in the comments, pinned there somewhere, and it's also, I'm going to just put that one back there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I'll just pop it on this tin. It's pinned in the comments where you can get those, the links to where you can find the Easter set, and also it is in the description of the live. Right, on with the show, guys. And I'm just going to zoom you down there. Working by myself here again today. Is that crooked? I feel like it's just a fraction crooked. Sorry about my hand in front of the camera. Oh, well, we'll try and straighten it best we can. And never mind, you can see what I'm trying to do. And getting it there. Okay, let me scroll back down. Yes, Joanne. She says, I love that Essential Stencil listened to all of our suggestions when they asked what we all wanted in our group. In the Stencil of the Month Club, they did. They asked, what are you guys wanting from for stencils? And so there's so many different ideas. So if you ever have suggestions, pop them in. Yes, guys, did you see the new stencils being released soon? They are so beautiful. So if you go, an Essential Stencil might put that link up in the comments somewhere, but if you go and you can just use the search bar in Essential Stencil on their site and type in spring, and you'll see a pre-release sneak peek of the spring collection right there, and they are just beautiful, just gorgeous. Can't wait till those come out, and neither can we. I bet you can't either. Anyway, here is our signboard, and I'm going to be using the watering can today. I've seen some really great, this is the Stencil of the Month Club one, so just remember the code for that. It's stencilofthemonthclub.com, and you can use my code IRESTORESTUFF and get yourself, oops, I'm trying to find the colour that I was going to use. I think I might use like a dark grey. Here it is. And you can get yourself this whole spring set. It's gorgeous. Oh wow, we got people coming in from all over the place. Someone from Louisiana. Hi Carlene. I actually lived in Louisiana, fun fact, for a couple of years when my husband and I were first married. I'm going to use a dark grey. This is called Ash, and I should have a link somewhere for where you can get these. They're just a furniture paint called Fusion Mineral Paint. Now, the key to stenciling, I've found, is to offload your paint as much as you can. So I just use a newspaper. You can use cardboard. I've just dipped the top of my brush in here. And I would love it if you would share the link here, which I didn't do before. I was going to do that. Just let me share it to my page and my group, guys. Feel free while I'm doing this to just share it with a friend. Or you know, you can tag someone in the live. Tag a friend who you know likes DIY. Maybe you've got a fellow sign maker who would love to see this live, and share it with them. My page, if you've just joined my page, my business is called IRESTORESTUFF, and I have a blog and I post about my furniture makeovers. Alrighty, I've done that, so now I can carry on. Thank you guys so much for sharing. You are awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Jude. That's amazing. Okay, so I've dipped my paintbrush in. I've offloaded it here. Now I'm going to see if I've got enough on my brush now that I've done that. And I'm just going to use a swirling method. Because I've got hardly any paint on my brush, I can afford to swirl and know that I won't get any bleeding underneath the stencil, because offloading your brush is the key. And really, I offloaded quite a bit, but I'm still going. It's still lasting. Now I've got some on my board. It's made up of 3 board pieces. I don't know if you can see the lines there, but they've been attached together, but they're a little wonky right in this little part right here where I'm pointing with the brush handle. Thank you, Joyce Ann, for sprinkling the love. And yeah, some of you may have a page where you share your own DIY projects. Feel free to share the live there and let every one of your friends know that we are live and showing them how to do stencils. Okay, so I feel like I'm running out right about now, which, I mean, that's lasted a good while. So I'm just going to dip a little bit on the edge of my pot and again offloading as much as I can. I didn't tape it down, if you notice, but I haven't moved it, so we're all good. But yes, you can use painter's tape. This is where the stencil is kind of just lifting up slightly because my board has a big bump right here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a bump in the board right here, so I'm going to push it down and then I can swirl a bit better here. And I might have to just do a little bit of stippling right there so that I can get it into that spot. All right, so now I've got the watering can outline right here. And what you could do now is to fill that in. You could fill that in with a little bit of your brushing. Now I haven't even tried what I'm going to do today, and that's pretty much how I roll, guys. I'm thinking it does need a little bit of filling in. Now there is an awesome example of a watering can on our Essential Stencil. I'm just going to kind of fill it in roughly though, like a bit of a dry brush technique. But in our Stencil of the Month Club, who saw that? Someone tell me who it was. She had a gorgeous grey watering can and then she filled it in and made it look like it had a little rust on there. Oh no, I should have written her name down. But that was just gorgeous. If that was you, give me a shout out. I want to give you a shout out. That was just really pretty. In the Stencil of the Month Club group, if you're in that group, go and check it out because she made it just look like a real metal watering can with rust parts on it. It's just gorgeous. So I'm not going to totally fill this in. I want to see those outlines there. And I'm just going to sort of dry brush. Can you see that feathered kind of a look that I'm going for? A bit rustic. I'm not an artist by any means. I see some of your work in the Stencil of the Month Club and I'm like, oh my goodness, these guys are so good. You're so talented. Yes, Laurie, you saw it. It was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah, so if you're in the Stencil of the Month Club, go check out that gorgeous watering can. It just looks so realistic. Okay, you can even see a little bit of my brush strokes where I'm ending, stopping and starting, but you know what? It's all just the rustic look today, guys. I just say, that's the look I was going for. We're winging it. Yeah, just kind of filling it in a little bit. I'm just kind of totally winging it, working on the fly here. But I'm still dry brushing, I mean, you know, offloading, that's the word. Offloading the most of it. And I'm not totally filling it in, just giving it a bit of a feathered, rustic, worn, vintage look to make it look like it's kind of filled in. See? How's that? Does that work for you? It works for me. That's how we're going to go today. All right, so now on my watering can, I want to add some flowers, but I did say I was going to incorporate the spring stencil as well. So I'm going to, the Easter mini set, I'm going to do that as well. So I want to leave room for what I'm going to do at the top, but I should have plenty of room. So one of the stencils I wanted to use on the watering can, and look guys, that's pretty much dry there. It touched dry, and you know why? Because I've offloaded a lot of the, offloaded the paint. So it makes it really thin and then easier to dry quickly. Now I want to put the word bloom down here, and I'm going to have some flowers coming out of here. And like I said, I may get to the denim board, but we'll see how we go for time. Okay, so I want to put the bloom down the bottom. There's plenty of room for that. I'll do that in a minute. And the other thing that I was going to use was the Hello Spring up here. So I'm just going to pop that up here for a minute, so I know how much space I've got to fill out here for the flowers. I might do that. I'll just stencil it right on there. So this is the Easter mini set. If you missed the beginning and you've just joined us, this one is 20% off until midnight tonight. So jump over there after you've watched the live, grab your 20% off plus another 10% off if you use my code IRESTORESTUFF. That's the code to use. You'll get 30% off that set, plus 10% off anything else in the store. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a beautiful spring up here. Now, the thing that I did that I didn't really think about before is that I used this teal green color, which is gorgeous, but when I want to do leaves, so I want to do some leaves coming out here, the greens and the greens are kind of going to go a little bit weird together. So didn't think about that. If I thought about that before, I might have chosen a different color. But I think I'm going to do a white for the Hello Spring words here, just because I think that would really pop. So I want to do white for that wreath also, only because if I did it green, the green wouldn't stand out along with this green here. So let me find another little brush. And if you missed my rubber band trick, I use these Klingon brushes. They're round furniture paint brushes. Wow, guys, we've got a number of you on here today. That is so good. Thank you so much for joining. So see this one here, they're sort of long and they have a beautiful, really flexible for furniture painting. But when it comes to stenciling, I just simply add a rubber band to the top and it shortens the bristles and makes them a little bit stiffer so that the ends are good for stenciling and they're still nice and soft and just move the paint around just beautifully. So that's my tip for you there. I'm using Fusion Mineral Paint today just because that's the brand that I sell over here in Australia, so it's handy. It's right here on my shelf. You can get that. If you're an Aussie, let me know. You can get that in my online shop, IRESTORESTUFF.com, where you can find all sorts of blogs and tutorials. I think I might bring it down a little bit. You always want to leave a little bit of a gap around for your stencil, for the wording. It's just a graphic design thing. Just again, offloaded the paint, and I like the font on this. Anyone else like this font? It reminds me of the Ray Dunn font. Sometimes with using white over dark colors, you may find that you'll need to go over it with a second coat. Again, guys, I'm not using my painter's tape. I'm going to put it right there to just remind me. Maybe I'll do that next time. But if you're a beginner and you're worried about moving the stencil, please use it. Feel free. I usually do, but I'm just winging it today and putting my hand down really strong. I promise it won't go anywhere. So, and because I've got hardly any paint on the brush, I can just swirl around like this, going around the stencil. Now, where I may want to use painter's tape is right on these edges where the flower is kind of close, or the leaves are kind of close to the edge. Are you still there, guys? I had a phone call right then and it kind of messed things up. Hang on. All right. Hi, guys. Yes, if you're just joining me, we've done the watering can down the bottom. This is from both the March Stencil of the Month Club set, which is gorgeous spring designs, and then this part, I've combined it with the Easter minis, which are in the Essential Stencils shop for 20% off plus my 10. So it's 30% off until midnight tonight. So use the code IRESTORESTUFF at the checkout, and all the links are in the description of the live. Just being very careful to hold that down. I hope it's close enough. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. If you've just joined for the first time and you've never stenciled before, a good tip is to actually use a bit of tape, painter's tape, to hold it down. I'm just going to go over that Hello Spring again. Kind of feel like it's a little bit light in colour. And I'm just doing a little swirling motion. Some people like to stipple it up and down, but this is the way that I've practiced and found the best for me. So everyone tends to use different methods. And if you watch out the ambassadors, they all will probably have a different method of doing it too. Yeah, the board, people are just, if you're just joining me, I'll do a close-up of the actual board and that textured pattern on the board. You'll have to watch my live from over on my page, I Restore Stuff. Yesterday I showed you how exactly I made the board. So there you go, there's the Hello Spring little wording for on the top. Now we're going to pop some flowers in the watering cans. And guys, you don't have to go anywhere, because at the end of the live we always pick out 3 winners of Essential Stencils. Stencils you'll get sent to you, and the winners will just email Essential Stencil. Okay, so here are the flowers and the leaves and all the things. Hey, did I just see my sister-in-law pop up there? Hey, Paula. All right, we've got a watering can. I've kind of filled it in a little bit with the grey. I feel like I want to do a leaf up here, but to do my leaf, I mentioned this before, I've used a green or a teal background, so wasn't sure whether to use this green, which is like that's the new Fusion Colour Pressed Fern. It's a dark green. I don't know if it clashes a bit too much, or I could use this Lichen colour for the leaves. I feel like the Lichen colour might pop a little bit more for the leaves, so I might try some for some and some of the other. Yes, Deborah, these sets are gorgeous, and this is just a part of the Stencil of the Month Club stencil set, which comes with 3 whole sheets like this of all different options, including the watering can and a gorgeous mason jar. Let me show you that real quickly. See the mason jar here as well. So I've just used the watering can and a whole bunch of little buzzy bees. I think I need to add one of these insects, butterfly bees, dragonfly, or a lady beetle. Ooh, I'll have to add one of those on. All right, so to do this leaf, just needing another brush here. Got a big one. And I'm using the colour Lichen. Just using a tiny bit from around the edge of the pot. And, oh, I can hear the rain. I don't know if you can hear that. And I'm just going to add this leaf. So I've got it sort of coming out of that part of the pot there. This is the colour Lichen. So I'll just see how it contrasts with that green, but it's really hard to find another green that was going to go with this teal that I've popped in the background. As I said before, if I had thought about it a little more, I may not have used that green, but I think that works okay with that. And if you use this method of offloading all of the time, you'll get a lot clearer and crisper lines on the outside, and you'll find that it will dry faster for you. So let's just actually make that sprig out a little more. I don't know if I can make it sort of sit like this. You can make your leaves grow. Watch this. So I'm not going to do that stem part of the leaves, but I'm just going to see if I can add to it and just do a certain part of it. Here's where you could tape off where I don't want to paint. Where is it? Grab a little bit of painter's tape. And I'm just going to tape that onto my hand so it sort of isn't as sticky on here. And I don't want to put that leaf on. I'm just going to remove the 2 bottom leaves. This just makes it not so sticky. It also might rip a hair or 2 out of your hand, but anyway. Okay, let's see how that goes. So I'm just trying to get this part in here. And there's still plenty of paint on that brush. Oops, I didn't mean to go over there. Oh well. Let's see if we can tell. Nope, that just looks fine. So see how we're kind of growing the leaf there? Growing a little bit longer. Well, let's add some flowers. What's your favourite flower? Can you see all the different types on here, guys? I wonder who can name them for me. I don't know what this one is. Is that a pansy? Not sure. I can see sunflower, peony. What do you say, peony? Oh yes, someone said they just joined the club just for these stencils. I know, it's so worth it. That looks like a a tulip. Pansy? That's pansy. What is this one? Daisy. Am I right, guys? I'm so not a gardener. My sister-in-law, Paula, if you're still there, she would know all of these flowers. I'm not sure what this one is. But anyway, they're gorgeous all the same. Let's pop in. Look, and there's even these gorgeous, they look like eucalyptus leaves too. Sunflowers. Oh, yep, I can see the sunflower. I do love the sunflower. I want to put the sunflower in here too. So I'm just going to pop a flower on the top of this. I don't even know what leaves go with what flowers, guys. But I'm going to put this one here. Actually, no, let's do the sunflower. I want to do a sunflower. I should make him up the center. Oh, you guys. Let me do another stem or two. Maybe in a different green. Where's that other green gone? We'll just try the two different greens and then you can see for yourself. But I'm going to mix it with this colour green that I already had on here. Yeah, the tulips would be great. So you could do a watering can with all sunflowers in it, or you could do a mixture. Okay, so I'm offloading that bit of the pressed fern there. And I'm just going to add, I don't even know how this is going to look, but I'm going to go for it. And then if you want your leaves the other way, we can flip them over. I'm trying to make this almost look like a bit of a stem, but I'm not sure how that's working. And my leaves are probably not looking anything like sunflower leaves, but let's just go with me here, folks. You're all so kind. Oh, sorry, just trying to... No, these ones are not the Essential Stencil brushes. These are Klingon brushes. And I think Essential Stencil may be out of the brushes at the moment. They could be sold out, but they will be getting some back very shortly. And I've heard that their brushes are really great too, so... Okay, now I think I'm ready for my sunflower. That was just a combination of a couple of greens. So I just tapped my brush into the lid there of the pressed fern, the darker green, and added it with what I already had on the brush of that Lichen colour, Fusion's colour Lichen. Okay, adding a sunflower now. I do believe... Oop, and I may be too close. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the top of the leaves just there. So you should still see them poking out somewhere. But I don't want to get too close to this, but I kind of wanted that sunflower up in the middle. And I do have a gorgeous bright yellow for the sunflower. This is Fusion's Tones for Tots in their little star. And then I've got this mustard colour, which I think I'll do in the centre of the sunflower. How about that? Oops, let me just... Oh, thank you, Jarita. She's sprinkled, which means she shared the live. So if you know people who love to stencil and would love to have a look at the live, go grab them. All right, I'm slowly running out of brushes here, guys. I may just have to... Here, I'll just do this brush. And I'm just using the mustard colour, and I'm going to try really hard to get it in there. You know what? I don't trust myself. I'm going to have to tape it. So we just want to tape around the sunflower so that, because I want to do the sunflower leaves in a little bit of a brighter colour. So that'll be super easy, super quick. Should just tape around the edges of the circle. And you know what? It probably wouldn't matter too much if the paint did blend a little bit into the other leaves. But you can just see there's just so many different options on this whole set, you know. We haven't even got to the words. Okay, I'm using a different bent brush, a weird brush here. What's your favourite flower? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to know. Oh, good on you, Charlene. She's doing a demonstration of this set at your church. That'd be fun. You could do a whole workshop there. Get everyone to make a sign. Okay, so I've got that part done. I don't want to lift up my stencil just yet. I'm going to now take away these, although I probably should let that sunflower dry before I tape over that section, but maybe I can just hope for the best and make sure I don't touch the middle with my other brighter yellow. In fact, I might just, yeah, I just did have to pick one that had a lid that stuck together. Just let me get my trusty technique is to whack the lid on a hard surface. So if you heard that bang, I just whacked my lid straight down on the floor and it helps to loosen. There's a tip for you. Okay, I've kept that right there and I'm just going to tape these edges to keep it in place so it doesn't move, because I'm going to be holding a few things. I'm going to use that same tip of this brush where I had the mustard on it, and I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow and offload it right here. Wow, Ruth, that was quick. She says, now I'm back, ordered. So did you just go order and then you came back to the live, Ruth? Amazing. You're awesome. I hope you got your 30% off the Easter minis. Okay, I'm just going to swirl that now, and I'm not going to mind if I actually get a little bit of this yellow in on that mustard center, because it's all with the same flower and it could just do just as well blending. But I think I'm doing pretty well not getting it there at all, actually. But you could do some beautiful blending techniques, you know, with the peony especially. I've added a bit of extra yellow here so that I don't have to re-dip my brush into the yellow paint. It is a pretty shade of yellow. So what I'm doing is, you can see the leaves through there that were done before. I may not be close enough there, but hopefully you can still see. Okay, got the sunflower going. Did you pop in your favourite colours? Oh, Karen's holding on. Karen's holding out until the new stencils are released. I can't wait for that either. If you just joined us, we do have some spring ones coming, and they're actually up for a sneak peek on the website. If you type in the word spring in the search bar on Essential Stencils, you'll see they haven't been released yet, but they're on their way. Okay, how's that? We've got a gorgeous sunflower in the middle there. That's looking pretty cool. Let's add some other flowers. You could do a whole watering can full of sunflowers, but hey, I want to do some more flowers. I just want to see what they're like. Now, I did have a little bit too much paint on my brush. I can see it right there. You may not be able to see that close when I lift it up to the camera. There's just a couple of spots here where it's just a little bit heavier. And if I bumped that now, it would probably not be good. So I'll let those dry. Or you could get a little bit of tissue paper and just kind of blot those areas. But that's why we try to offload as much as we can, which I didn't do that quite so properly. All right, I'm thinking we need a bit of pink. A nice pink peony, but I'm using the colour English Rose. And I'm going to need a nice thick brush. If you missed my trick before, I'm just tying a rubber band around the long bristles of my furniture painting brush. Yes, you could overlap it with another flower. Absolutely. Yes, you can do that. Now, the other thing I've got to make sure is that I don't have, and I'm just going to try and move this to the side so you can see. Move my thing out the way. On the back of my stencil, I just wanted to show you where I had those bits that were a little bit thick. I just want to make sure that the back of my stencil is clean and rubbed off before I go lay it down this way anywhere else on the on the surface, because you don't want, you know, a bit of random yellow just sticking down there. So that's my tip for you for today. I think I'll have to wipe this. There we go. Make sure that's cleaned off. Okay, so I love this peony, and I think I can imagine it. Like I said, I didn't do one of these earlier to prepare. I like to just, you know, be spontaneous, wing it live right here with you all. So we're experimenting as we go, guys. So what I'm going to do is pop my peony in place, and, you know, I think I'll just put it there as if it's just kind of coming out and leaning over a little bit over the front of the watering can, and a little bit over those branches, a little bit on the spout, and all of the things. I've got my brush ready, have my newspaper ready to offload on this guy's on this guy's face. Sorry, dude. Okay, the things we have to do. Colouring in the man's face on the newspaper. Someone asked me one time if you're worried about actually getting the colour from the newspaper onto the paintbrush, but I've never found that that's the case. I have not had any cases where it's actually bled onto it. All right, now the pink colour could take a couple of coats, because similar to white, it is usually quite translucent and may need a few coats. And I think it's due to like the reddish pigment that's in there. But, oh no, it's making a liar out of me. It's doing pretty good. Okay, doing another little offload there. Thank you, Jerry. Hey guys, don't forget that at the end, we'll draw 3 winners for Essential Stencil Prize. And what you'll just do is contact Essential Stencil and they'll mail out a prize to you. Could be stencils, it could be an apron, I don't know. Their choice, I think. They may get you to pick, I don't know. But it's always a lot of fun. And don't forget that in the links in the comments, and also the links are in the description of this live on where you can find all the sets that I'm using today, both the Easter mini set and the Stencil of the Month Club set. You will find on the essential description of this live, and the essential comment that they've got there pinned to the top. Okay, there's my gorgeous peony. I think that's what it is. Oh, that is looking beautiful. I love it. Can you imagine also that shadow effect that you could try and use for some of these? I don't know how that would work. Oh, great. Karen says she's just started stenciling. That's awesome. It's so much fun, guys. It could be addictive, especially if you join the Stencil of the Month Club. We've got a lot going on there. I'm going to add a few flowers in just a minute, but I wanted to also incorporate that bloom word. So this is a part of the Easter mini set that's on sale just till midnight tonight. You'll get 30% off if you use my code IRESTORESTUFF at the checkout. It's 20% off there till midnight, and then if you use my code, that's another 10% that you get off anything in the store. But including that makes it a great deal. Okay, I want to put the word bloom sort of where it fits. It won't sort of fit up here because I don't want the word B coming off the edge of the watering can, so it kind of suits it if I did that down the bottom. Now, while I've got this pink colour on my brush, I think I'll use that. So again, offloading. Yeah, the shadowing would be, I think, a fun idea. So you could do that with the words or objects. No, I've got to add a butterfly or something. Okay, what should I add? We've got, where's the little thing? Here's the options. We've got butterflies, lady beetle, bees, and dragonflies. I could add one of each, but I don't want to overdo it. Let me know what's your favourite out of those in the comments, and I'll pick one of yours. I'll see if I can keep up with your comments and see whose is which one is said the most. We've got butterfly, bee, dragonfly, lady beetle. Was there 4? I want to add that somewhere on my stencil. Someone says the ladybugs. Then I would have to find red or orange. Yes, that sounds cute. Now, this is right on that lump. Oh, guys, that lump that's in the ridge when the boards were put together, the 3 boards that are making up this sign, when they were put together, is just a little bit offset there. So let me just have a look. It's not too bad. Let's see if I can bend over and, oops, sorry, I was not letting you see properly. Yeah, I'm not going to use the tulips, so I don't need those. Just trying to get that brush right in and wiggle it around when you've got a lump or a bump to get through. Same with textured fabrics, like I did some jute, stenciled on some jute a while ago. I think it was at Christmas time, and it's kind of quite a bumpy fabric. You know, you just got to kind of wriggle the brush down in there. All right, so we've got pink on top of the grey watering can. Okay, there's the bloom. So we've got bloom down the bottom, and that was part of that Easter mini set that's 20% off plus 10. So that's 30% off, guys, today. Wow, isn't that gorgeous? So we can add some more flowers on here. I think I'll add another flower up here somewhere before I add a bee or a butterfly. What have we got going? What's dragonflies? Marilyn likes the dragonflies. Stephanie, where do I get the stencil that you just flashed on the screen? The one that had welcome, and you could put winter, summer, spring. Yep, that's this one here. Stephanie, this is a part of the 3 stencil set that comes with the Stencil of the Month Club. So if you go to stencilofthemonthclub.com and put in my code at checkout, IRESTORESTUFF, you'll get $5 off your first month. And this is what you get for a whole month, is a set each month. I mean, these guys, these come to you every month, a different stencil set. And last month, February, I designed the coffee stencil set. It had a coffee theme with all different kind of coffee words. So these are the 3 that come in the set. And then, of course, we've got the add-on. Each month, Essential Stencil have an optional add-on, and it's got these beautiful sayings on it. So if you join the Stencil of the Month Club today, and right up until the 20th of March, you've got to order this particular set. Before then, that's their cut-off for the next month. Okay, so you've got to get those before the 20th. So join now, and you'll get that whole set is ready to be shipped out to you. All right, so the other thing I was going to do is one more flower. Where's my flower? And what's the votes? What's the votes? Dragonfly, ladybugs, bees. Oh, guys. Oh, thank you. You're loving the colours. The bees, dragonfly, bees, butterfly, dragonfly. Oh, I think dragonflies might have it, guys. All right, so before I do the dragonfly, I was going to do one more flower around this area. See, I did that leaf there, and I actually just joined those 2 leaves together. So that's one here, and then I added just the top section of that. You can spread those out. You can have leaves hanging down, flowers drooping down. You can do all sorts of fun things. All right. Would this be a good place for a tulip, maybe? Should we do that? What colour are dragonflies? Guys, I don't even know. Do I need to think about a dragonfly colour if I'm going to do the dragonfly? Well, you'll have to let me know that before I do it. So somebody tell me what colour dragonflies are. All right, and so my tulip, what colour am I going to do that? Got all my brushes here that are, I'm stepping on something. Okay, I'm looking for a colour that's, can you get, okay, we've got red tulips. We can do a bright orange tulip. What about that? Would you see a tulip, or should I make it yellow tulip like that one? Actually, you know what? I've got this gorgeous colour called buttermilk cream that's a nice yellow that might go nicely with the sunflower also. I know it's not the right stem for a tulip, Joy. Hey, Joy, if you know, tell me. I'm so not a garden person. I have no idea. Rusty orange dragonfly. Well, there you go. Maybe I should do the sort of the Tuscan orange for the tulip, and then that'll tie in with the dragonfly, hey? We'll do a bright orange tulip colour. That'll do. And I know, someone just let me know that this is not the right stem for a tulip. Oh, now I'm in a quandary. Let's just pretend the tulip comes out somewhere else then, and let's draw a stem in for the tulip, and that can just be some eucalyptus leaf coming out there. Who was that told me that? Oh, joy, I think. Okay, maybe the tulip, now I'm stuck. Okay, we'll make this tulip pop out here and we can draw a stem for it down in there. I need to put my lids back on my paints. So I'm going to use this gorgeous orange called Tuscan Orange, and I am actually running out of paintbrushes. Here's another one. I'm running out of rubber bands to use for them. And if you've just joined me, the reason I use a rubber band is to just tighten the bristles to make them a bit stiffer on the ends, because these are furniture painting brushes. They're long bristled ones. All right, so just dipping my brush in a little bit where it's in the lid. I'm actually going to wipe half of that off so that I don't waste it all. And then offloading onto the newspaper. And I'm just going to put this random tulip in midair somewhere until someone lets me know. I'll have to look up. I'm going to have to look up now how to draw a tulip stem. Are they just kind of long? Yeah, they're just kind of long green stems, aren't they? And they may have one or two sort of leaves, I'm guessing. I'm totally an ignorant flower garden person. Okay, Dorothy says her tulips are blooming now in Arizona. I just love seeing tulips blooming, and we are living in a place where it's really, you don't see tulips ever. Maybe it's not cold enough in Queensland, I think. Now that colour is looking a little bit translucent and see-through. So I'm going to have to do a second coat on that because it really doesn't stand out as much as I'd like it to. I'm just going to lift it off for now, and I think that I'll come back to it and actually do that. So what I'm going to do, the tulip's kind of sitting in the mid-air now, but I'm going to just draw a little stem down here. And I think that a tulip has like one, maybe sort of soft leaf or two leaves kind of just coming up off the stem. As far as I can remember, happy to be corrected. I wrapped the single leaf on both sides of my tulip. Okay, the single leaf. Yes, so this leaf here, that might be more like a tulip leaf, do you think? Kind of coming out. I'm running out of room for those leafy things. Okay, while I've got the orange, I'm going to look for that dragonfly. And so I'm just kind of visually looking for a bit of a space, and I think this would be the perfect space for my dragonfly over here. I'll stick him up there, and he's going to be flying away from the flowers. Or maybe he's flying to them. No, let's him fly away. Fly, be free, little guy. Maybe up a bit further, so we've got sort of a visual thing happening like this. And we're going with the orange. And what you could do is fill it all in with the orange, and then you could go over it with any kind of pens or markers that are, you know, paint type pens, even Sharpie kind of a thing, and fill in any other details that you might think would be a different colour, or even use paint, a little tiny fine paintbrush, but say doing his body a little bit darker than the orange. Oh, hard to see that dragonfly there. So I think that would be a good idea, is to outline him with, can you see that? It's not standing out too well, so I may need to play with the colour on that. In fact, I think I could add a little bit of white onto the tulip and the dragonfly and see how that goes, just sort of brightening up that colour. Let's even offset it with a bit of a shadow effect just by... Yes, Ruth, great idea. She said she's going to practice on the flower arranging. I think I need to practice on the flower arranging. Glad I've got you guys all here to help me. You're so lovely. You don't rouse on me too much if I get things wrong. That's nice. Okay, so I'm just going to add a touch of white. I'll have to wash my lid in a minute, okay? So don't do what I do. I'm just going to offload that. It's kind of got a mixture now of white and the orange when I'm offloading it. And I've just slightly offset my tulip so that we get a bit of a shadow type effect. And I think that will really pop a lot more. You'll be able to see that in a second. It'll pop a lot more than the orange that it was before. Just that simple extra step. Look at that. And you can just slightly see the orange behind where I kind of created a little bit of a shadow, offset it. Yeah, guys, don't forget to use my code. Thanks, Billy. You're a champ. To use my code when ordering. And the code is IRESTORESTUFF. I get people each time on the live asking, what's the code? And guys, they're always added into the top comment. You should be able to see a comment up there to use my code IRESTORESTUFF. on both the club and the Essential Stencil page on the Stencil of the Month Club. So see how that really pops there. Let's see if I can do a similar thing to the Dragonfly and just use what I've got on the brush. And add a bit of white to that. Oh, I can hardly see where I've landed here. I'm trying to find where the stencil is. It's not as easy to see where I was up to. I don't think I'll shift it, maybe. This could be an accidental shadow because I can't really see where I'm lined up. Okay. This is funny, this is hilarious. Oh dear, Sharon. Okay, I'm needing my glasses in my old age, people. All right, that's gonna do. We'll just see where we go. But watching that white really pop now, because I've added that extra bit of tinge of white. Oh, and I did do a shadow. Look at that. Now let me see if I can even bring it up as close as I can to see if you can see that. So if you missed the background, that effect that I've got on the background here, I did a live yesterday on my IRESTORESTUFF page. You can see the dragonfly, sunflower. I'm just zooming in close there for you guys. And there's the watering can and the bloom. So we've used a couple of different stencil sets today. We've used the Easter minis. Oh, and guys, don't forget I've got to pick some winners for our live today. 3 winners. Bear with me with that. And I am going to add my tulip stem. I'll do that later when there's not so much pressure. Oh my goodness. So I'll do that in a minute. I'll do my stencil, my, not stencil, I'm going to draw it. But I'm not an artist. I feel really stressed about having to draw something in there. So look back later and I'll add the picture. Or if you get Essential Stencils emails, they sometimes will email you where you can find the lives and the videos that just in case you missed any during the week, they'll send you out an email. So let me just see if I can choose some winners right now while you're staring there at my stencils. And here I'll just pop in, that is the Essential Stencil mini set that's on sale for 20% off plus my 10% if you use my code IRESTORESTUFF. That is 30% off until midnight tonight, and that comes with all these, 7 different designs. 20th, you'll get the Spring March designs, which comes with 3 huge, lots and lots of things you can do with this. 3 huge spring sets. You've got the mason jar and the watering can, and then there's the add-on. So I would suggest always the add-on is such great value. And if you're in the Stencil of the Month Club, you can always jump onto their website, their club site, if you're a member, and you can buy from their shop. So if you missed an add-on from a couple of months ago or whatever, for example, check out the shop and just see if they've got one in there. All right, I'm looking for some winners. So hang on a second. Let me see. I hope you like the stencil we did today. And I've done, I didn't have time to do my denim one. And if you missed the beginning, you will have to check out the denim board that I did. And just writing down some names here, guys, so I can announce them. I'll just be a second. Sorry, I usually have Celia here, but I noticed she's watching. Hi, Celia, if you're still watching. She used to be the one to pick out my winners, but she's coming to work on a different day now. So I know that a couple of you are missing her. Oops. Someone said, Karen says, I wonder how the dragonfly would have looked with people, and then maybe pink she means, and then yellow over the top. I'm not sure what colour you meant, Karen, but yeah, good idea. You can try all sorts of different colours on that. Yes, Jennifer, I'm using the Fusion Mineral Paints, and there might be a supply list where you can get those in a link somewhere. I'll add it in later, or just message me and I'll find it for you. Oh, someone asked what size the board is. Now, I did measure that earlier, and that's on the supply list also, and I can tell you that the board is approximately 24 inches long by about 11 inches wide. So, hang tight, guys. just choosing winners here. I know there's lots of you who would love to win. The code, Fran, is IRESTORESTUFF, and it's linked at the top, and also it's in the description of this live. The code is IRESTORESTUFF, which is my business name, and I'd love you to jump over on my page and check out the boards, the background, and how I made them for the 2 boards that I showed you earlier in the live. Wow, comments are flying, guys. You all want to be winners. I know you're so awesome, and I really thank you so much that you're all on here. I'm also trying to answer, and if you've got any questions, please let me know. I do go through on the lives afterwards and check out what we're doing. So, okay. Got my glasses on so I can read you all. Thank you so much also for sharing. Okay, our first winner for today is Ellen Curl. I feel like I'm crooked again. So, sorry. It's in my way, please. Okay. Ellen Curl, you're our first winner. Congratulations. And Beverly Mize, you're our next winner. I've just got to write these down or I will forget your names. Beverly Mize, M-I-Z-E. And I said Ellen Curl and Jennifer Stone, you're our next winner. So those are our 3 winners today, Jennifer Stone, Ellen Curl, and Beverly Mize. So guys, thank you so much for watching today. If you missed any of the details or any of the links on what's on sale today, then please check out the description in the top of the live. But here's our project from today. And let me show you quickly the other board that I did prepare earlier. And don't you worry, you won't miss out on anything. And I may do this in the Stencil of the Month Club, but I want to put some spring flowers on that for Stencil of the Month. So if you're in the Stencil of the Month Club, wait for this one. It'll be coming soon. But there's our stencil project for today, and I'll pop some pictures of those up later. So thank you guys. Again, you can visit me at IRESTORESTUFF on Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, where I show lots of furniture tutorials and all sorts of things, or on my blog, IRESTORESTUFF.com. Catch you later, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, bye.